Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Fear versus Greed's AMA with Looper Finance. Alpha Q, how are you doing tonight?
Thanks for having me here. I'm doing great tonight. How about you guys?
Good. We've also got with us Omar. He's a member and he's helping us out. And we've got Lola also helping us out. Alpha Q, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hello to the amazing community of Fear vs. Greed. We love what you guys are doing here, and thanks to Caraway as well as the community team for having us here. I'm Alpha, the lead developer and creator of Looper Finance. Looper Finance is the first ever gamified rebase project where we use an innovative new loop concept, GameFi, and dynamic decks to reward investors. You can earn a variable daily return up to 20% depending on your in-game scores. So what that means is that while the max daily return is 20%, everyone will have a different daily return such as 0.2, 3%, 15%, and so on to 20%. So this is very different compared to other rebates projects such as Titano with a fixed rebase or Wonderland where the rebase is set by the team and so on.
Hold on. Let me hold it there. I do want to hear all about the unique features. Um, but first, let me just introduce Omar. Omar hosts his own AMAs over at his group called Inside DeFi. Isn't that right, Omar?
Well, the group's called Abacus Exchange. That's part of my company. I'm the project manager for it. Sandify, it's more my Twitter handle. But yeah, it's always my pleasure to be here on these AMAs. I always try to help the community, all community, and try to make it in crypto and learn about new protocols. Kaiway is just a really nice person. It's doing a really nice job hosting these AMAs. I'm looking forward to learning about Looper Finance a bit deeper.
Thank you, Omar. Lola, is your mic working?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you couldn't. Okay, for some reason, my phone is like being extremely weird. Like, I cannot see anybody's profile picture. Like, it's just my phone. It's not you guys, it's just my phone being weird.
Okay, well, go ahead and tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about the business that you're running.
Okay, so my name is Lola Crypto Bunny, and I run and own a Discord called the Cash Club, where it's mostly sports anal but we also talk about stocks. We also talk about crypto. We also have like spiritual vibes going on in there as well. It's a monthly subscription, and we do have the website is in my bio if you guys would like to check that out. And actually, I just opened up another Discord too, but it's just women only. So
Oh, did you check out that Women in DeFi group I sent you?
women in Deef. Where did you send it to?
It
The
must
just
have
like a
it must have been DM. It felt like a while ago. Would you say that I heard you say spirituality. Would you say that you're running a Christian sports betting Discord?
No, I wouldn't say Christian. I would just say overall we just overall we just try to give people good vibes. Like we do have a prayer request channel,
Okay.
but we don't necessarily try to implode like religion on people.
I gotcha. We also with us tonight we've got Zero Cool and Gelt Dev. They're both from the DreamFi team. And guys, if you guys want to chime in, anybody who wants to chime in with a question at any time can do so. Alpha Q, you mentioned that your daily rewards rate will be determined by your score in the game. Tell us more about the game.
So as I mentioned before, your daily returns depends on your in-game scores, and the game is like a simple game of greed versus luck. And the main goal of game is to reach the moon without exploding, or to save yourself before the rocket explodes. So depending on how high you get, that'll be your daily return, and you get a few tries each day. So every day you'll be getting 10 tries, and the more you survive, the more your daily return adds up. Let's say the first turn you get 2%, and the next turn you got another 2%. So your daily return will be 4%. It's not just a one done deal. It's you have 10 tries and all of it accumulates. However, if your rocket explodes before you reach the moon and you don't eject in time, your points will be deducted from your daily return. So let's say you get 2% on your first turn and negative 2% on your second turn, you get zero daily returns. So this is kind of a uh, mechanism to control inflation so that not everybody will be getting the 20% return. While it is possible for you to get 20%, not everybody will be getting the 20% returns. Everyone have a different daily return based on your in-game scores. And once you get a daily return, this daily return will reflect on your e-balance, which is our in-game currency. Which in later you in loop phase B, you can claim to receive an equal amount of loop tokens. Why we have this e-balance as an in-game currency is to prevent inflation in our main loop token. So this is similar to what you guys might know as a stake token and so on. That's basically about the game.
So does everybody's rocket explode at the same time?
No, it's client based, but it's fully randomized. While you run the rockets, there'll be multiple randomizing algorithms running in the background at all times, and that's the main reason is to like prevent hacking and reduce hacking. It's all client based for now. We are considering to make it server based where everyone is synchronized, but at the moment it's client based.
I see. So part of it's client based and part of it is on the blockchain. So
Yeah,
walk me
correct.
through how a person is going to get involved on launch day or when the game starts. Is the first step to buy the native token off of a DEX?
Yeah, yeah. So everyone can refer to the LooperFi AMA channel, and I've dropped simplified flow for you guys to understand how to get into our ecosystem and how it works. By referring to the diagram, first you have to buy our loop tokens, where we have the private presale, public presale, and public launch for each loop. Uh, Once you acquire loop tokens, you'll start playing and earning. It is the loop phase A, where you play our game and earn e-balance. And loop phase B, you claim the e-balance in exchange for loop tokens, which will be reflected in your crypto Web3 wallet. And in loop phase C, you'll cash out. So what happens during this cash out phase is we'll have a massive buyback and burn where the price will skyrocket for a short window of time, and you can cash out during this time for insane returns basically. And D is our DAO phase, where we focus on fostering the community, voting on where portion of our treasury goes to charity, and have giveaways in monetary values, and uh, have pre-sales and whitelist giveaways during this DAO phase for the next loop. That is the short-term focus for each loop. And let's say you do not want to cash out and you want to hold long-term, or you could not cash out in a profitable way, we have a few long-term mechanisms in place, which is if you hold if you hold a certain number of loop tokens for long term, you'll be eligible to receive playable NFT rockets depending on your token sale. And what these playable NFT rockets do is they increase the rewards in the next loop, and they are completely tradable. That's the first return mechanism. And a second return mechanism is that if the liquidity pool is more than 100k, we'll be integrating with Tattoo Swap, and what this gives us is a long-term profits where pair in the pair in the liquidity pool would increase over time due to Tattoo's automated yield farming. That's our long-term return mechanisms. And before I can get into all of these, I think it'd be better to explain what are we. So
Well, before we
yeah,
move on to that, can I
yeah,
ask
yeah,
you some
sure.
more questions about this loop?
Go ahead, go ahead.
So
Yeah.
what is the actual gameplay? So let's say I go to the public launch and I buy, $100 worth of Looper tokens. Um, then would I go to your website to play the game?
So after you buy our tokens, depending on where you buy it, so our private presale will be on Pink Sale, public pre-sale will be on pink sale, and our public launch will be on looper.finance, and everything is on looper.finance after that. So you can access our docs on Looper from Finance, you can access our game, and you can even trade the tokens directly since we have swap directly embedded into the website. So you don't have to open any external website, and it's all automated for you. You can directly swap on our website. Just click on enter app to enter our dashboard, and from there you can buy our tokens, and you can also play the game directly from there.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the website now. This will all be on the YouTube video. So I've got the tokens. I go to the website, and then
So you
um,
click on enter app to enter our dashboard.
yes, it looks like it's loading pretty good. And then I would click on play and earn, I suppose.
You can click here even now. It'll open up the game itself. It's all our products, including the game, is ready and public for testing. So once you open up the game, you have to register or log in, and immediately you can start playing.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's loading. Oh, Omar is saying, can you send the link here of the video? He wants you to drop the link in the AMA chat. Okay, so you play and earn, and then there's a claim period, but you can't cash out until the certain day. So everybody has to cash out at the same time. Is that going to be like a first come, first serve, like a bank run?
Okay, so one of the most interesting parts of our project is we give complete freedom to our investors on when they want to swap our tokens or when they want to cash out, and we are not locking them away in terms of a vesting period or a lock period. None of that. We are not doing any of that. Once you buy your tokens, you are free to trade it. However, you will only you only receive the rebase rewards on loop phase B. So even after you receive the rebase rewards, you are free to trade or and cash out anytime you want. You don't necessarily have to wait for loop phase C or the massive buyback and burn, and you can cash out at any time. So let's say you bought our tokens initially, and the price goes up, and you've decided, oh, this is enough profits for me, you can cash out. But another strategy you can use is after you receive your rebase rewards in loop phase B, and you can cash out during that time itself for a decent amount of profits. Or if you want to go full degen and test your luck and get insane profits, you can wait for loop phase C for the massive buyback and burn. So it's more depending on your appetite for risk versus reward and where you want to cash out.
Yeah,
Investors have total
yeah.
freedom.
Sorry to interrupt you, man. This gives me such a flashback, bro, to 2017 on Counter Strike level of offensive. I don't know if that's where the idea comes from, or anyone here ever played and gambled on CS:GO. So, Kare, I'm not sure if you like. I think I can explain it like easier because, like, oh man, I made a lot of money back in the day in CS:GO and lost also. So, so I hope it's this. I mean, for what I'm seeing, the pictures basically, the ship, right? Everyone's has the same ship. I'm guessing, right?
Okay, for now, later on we'll integrate NFT rockets where you learn more returns based on your rockets. But for now, everyone has the same ship. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you put $100 and then multiplier. If it's um two x2, you make two another 100, right? And if it crashes immediately, which usually happens, you lose everything, right?
Okay.
Uh, Not necessarily. We do not. How do I put it? So yeah, the game is only to give you a positive multiplier. You will not lose your balance at all. So let's say you have $100 worth of tokens and you get 2x multiplier. So your daily return will be two times. However, if you like your rockets explode and you get negative returns, there won't be any negative returns because the daily return is the lowest you can get is 0%. So your initial balance is never lost and it's totally with you. This is only a mechanism to reduce inflation. We are not taking away any of your initial balance or burning them or doing anything with them. It's only reducing the profits you will get. So it's not a full-on gamble where you lose your. It's not a full-on win or die situation where you lose all your initial balance. It's just a return mechanism.
I thought that if the rocket exploded, you lost your initial.
No, we do not touch your initial balance at all. You're not locked in into anything, and you don't have to sign any transactions or anything.
So
It's
then the
all
the
only for
risk,
daily returns.
so the risk only comes from the token price going down.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha. And that happens because other people's rockets don't explode or because they cash out and they sell their tokens, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Similar to most rebase projects, but compared to most rebase projects, ours people have a different daily rate of return. So this reduces the inflation rate significantly compared to other projects. And the most important part of our project is that we are not a long-term project. So we have an innovative new loop concept where rebase rewards are only for 10 days and the whole loop runs for 15 days. So as I mentioned before, you and may have noticed in the simplified flow, there'll be a certain period for loop phases where I mentioned loop phase A, B, C, and D. So you will only return rebase rewards up until loop phase B, which is for 10 days. After 10 days, on the 10th day, you'll have the massive buyback and burn, and after that, you have a down phase. So overall, it's only for 15 days. Each loop is only for 15 days. Once loop ends, a new loop begins. Every 15 days, we'll have a new loop, and for each loop, will have their own token, their own presale, and their own liquidity. So nothing is related between each loop. So as for sustainability of the price over time, we are not aiming for a long-term sustainability because our experience from what most of you guys could have experienced, most long-term DeFi projects are currently highly dependent on a continuous flow of investors. So you need a continuous flow of new investors putting in the money on and on so that the price is sustained and it does not crash. So most projects fail because of this and because they cannot provide enough utility to bring in new investors. We say, oh, screw that. We are going short term. So the sustainability is only for 10 days until the rebase rewards ends. So even if you do not make a profit on the first loop, you can still invest back in the second loop to get back your profits. We are not only dependent on getting new investors. You can retain the current community to invest over and over through a short series of investments. And we also have a few mechanisms to bring in new investors, such as the vault, where we'll be having monetary giveaways and whitelist giveaways and other promotions using the money raised in previous loops.
I'm sorry, I have a question. So this is a 10-day project, then, right?
Yeah, 15 days to be exact. 15 days,
And
and after one loop ends, we'll start again with a new loop with a new token.
so when you mean the loop ends, you basically mean like all the money, like what's gonna happen to all the money?
Okay, so after our massive buyback and burn, okay, wait, let me start from beginning first. We have a treasury and a vault. The treasury is similar to Titano's RFV, which is a risk-free value, and we use this to hedge against volatility. A portion of the tax that we collect will go to the treasury and it will accumulate in the treasury. And in loop phase C, we'll use 80% of the treasury for massive buyback and burn. This will skyrocket the price for short window, right? So after that, we will not manipulate or pull or burn any of the liquidity at all. It'll stay there and it'll be fully community driven. Yeah, it's up to the community whether they want this, how they want to decide what's the price of the liquidity pool, what's the price of the token. It's definitely left up to the community. And even if you do not make a profit initially, we have currently two long-term return mechanism, which is the enable NFT rockets airdrop and tattoo swap integration in place for you. Even if you do not profit short term, you still can recoup your losses in the long term. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sort of. I'll let you keep explaining it. I'll have some questions for later on. I just like I I was just going about it. That you think like I don't you were saying this is not a long term project. Now you're saying it's a long term project, and I mean this tokenomics. I mean, I love the crash idea. I mean, I got really excited when I saw the picture of what this was. But I mean, why not just make it the gambling game? Or I don't know if that's a bit like you can do that in DeFi. I'm not sure, probably you can. But why not just make that and make a sustainable project instead of giving 20% daily rewards or 5%? I just saw it on the website, and that can make you a more sustainable project, and it will benefit both you and your team.
Well, I think the unique feature is that the project happens in cycles, 15-day cycles, so that there's a winner and a loser every 15 days. Um, so the project is sustainable in that each new cycle offers a new potential. I don't mean, does that make sense? I think that's like the unique feature. Am I stating that correctly, Alpha Q?
Yeah, you're correct, correct. And as to what Omar asked, why we didn't go full on crash like a gambling website, and wanted to do it in a decentralized way where investors have more control. So in a crash game, like a gambling crash game, once you put in your money and you bet for a certain period, you either lose all your investments or you most probably you lose all your investments or make some returns. But in most scenario, people lose their returns. Am I right? So in our case, investors have more control in a decentralized manner of their rewards. So we are tinkering with this idea of Rebase and GameFi, and we are combining them for a more decentralized manner where investors have more control over their initial balance. So they can risk it if they want to, or they can cash out whenever they feel that they've made enough profits.
What
So
is
there's lower risk of losing in terms of your initial balance, and primary risk is that you have to consider is the token losing its value over time.
what is the average ROI of an average user?
Yeah, so my personal experience, I get usually around 12 to 15 ROI daily. That's after some experience in the game. So, it depends on your luck as well. On bad days, I can get like 5 to 8 daily ROI, but on like normal days, I can get up to 12 to 15
I
daily
sort of meant
ROI.
over the entire 15-day cycle. Like for instance, I think that lottery tickets, at least in my country, have like, oh, probably like a 40% ROI, and then slot machines have like an 80% ROI. Blackjack is more like 90 something. I think craps is 90 something. Um, in other words, like if I put in $100 and I go through a 15-day cycle, what's the average that I'll get back?
So maximum you can get in a 10-day daily ROI is 500 and sorry 519.2%, which is if you get 20% daily, that's the maximum daily ROI. Sorry, maximum ROI you'll get in 10 days. But for like let's say take an average of 12% daily, which is a reasonable target, I would assume you can get up to 210.6%. So I'd say the average person will get up to 206% or above because it's not that hard to get 12 to 15% on a daily basis.
How many people are on the Looper Finance team?
Currently, I'm the only developer, so and we are fully decentralized. So we have community members from the community itself. We do not know each other, and you have to take our word for it. We have met purely on the interest and passion for our project. So as to how many you have, around seven, I would say.
Did you say seven?
I'm not mistaken. I've checked. Yeah,
Um,
because we have a few applications and we have some, you know how it is with new projects. Some community Discord members, they might not be inactive, so we've been removing a few of them. Yeah, it varies.
how does the team compensate itself?
And to for as in to handle the community, do you mean?
How does the team compensate? How do you guys pay yourself? How does the Looper Finance team make money?
So currently we do not have any payment method, and the only payment is going out to our community managers, where he'll get, for this loop only, he'll be getting 1,000. Let me check that.
Well,
$100 worth of loop tokens. That's the one of the only payment methods that we are giving out to our team, for those who contribute as team members.
is that the same way that you will pay yourself in Looper tokens that you will then sell?
Okay, yeah. So that's a very good question. And if you head over to our docs, you can see in Looper Finance, you can access our docs from there and scroll to the bottom. We have clearly put there, how does Looper Finance make a profit, as in how does our team make a profit. And we want to be fully transparent on how we make a profit. This is not a rug pull, nor do we want to fuel any FUDs. We'll take a small cut from the treasury only in loop phase C. So a total breakdown of what happens in loop phase C to the treasury balance is that 80% is used for a massive buyback, 10% is used is donated to charity, which is chosen by the community, and the remaining 10% is used by the Looper Finance team to pay them and for other domain and game services fee. So a short answer is that we'll be taking a 10% cut from the treasury in Loop Phase C. That's the only way we'll be taking our profits. As to what happens to all the minted tokens, will we cash them out? Will we slow rug this? No. We will fully burn all of our tokens that we have, that we minted, that has not been sent out as rebase rewards. All of that will be burned, so we'll not have access or the ability to slow rug people of their liquidity. And this transaction will be fully made public and sent to a community. So we are not trying to slow rug you guys. We are burning all our tokens. We are only taking the profit from this 10% of the treasury balance in loop phase C.
I see that you also have 10% allocated to a charity. Is that still the case? Whose idea was that? And have you guys talked about the first charity that you will give money to?
So this charity is sorry, sorry. And this is basically my idea from right from the beginning, and our committee has been informed on this multiple times on what happens to the treasury balance. So this 10% at a max of 10K will be donated to a charity chosen by the community. We haven't discussed yet which charity will be sending this money to, but we will definitely discuss this in loop phase D, which is the DAO aspect of our loop phases. So we'll be voting on which charity this will go to, and we have more people, of course. So after the pre-sale and public launch, definitely we have more people on board, where more people have say on how much they invested. So it'll be fairer if we discuss and vote on it after we have completed loop phase C, and in loop phase D, which is our DAO aspect, we'll be voting on which charity it goes to. It's not decided by us. It's not decided by the Looper Finance team, but rather decided by the community and voted on by the community.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. I mean, you don't have to be ashamed of for like having a code in your project. I mean, that's why most projects even like do stuff. I saw you got like a little embarrassed in that. I find it totally fine that you guys are making money from your own project. I don't understand is like, so how does this happen? Like, I want to know more about the team. At the end of the day, the team is what makes a great project. So you stated that you guys just met yourself from the internet. You guys like not know each other for real life. I want to know if you guys are docs to each other. Do you know the dev? I mean, you probably are KYC, but probably is it dev KYC? Are you the dev? Like,
He
I'm
is
not
the
sure.
dev.
Oh, okay. So, and do you know any other like? Are you guys like? I want to know the security of the project because I've seen many projects who have like half of the team docs or KYC, and then the other half just disappears or anything else.
Yeah, okay, I totally understand your concerns, and it's a fair question. And to answer that, I'm the lead developer of Looper Finance, and I'm currently the only developer for Looper Finance in terms of from the game aspect, from the smart contract aspect, and so basically everything lah. So I'm the only developer currently, and the reason why we do not have more developers is that I'm waiting for us to grow and to get more developers on board who are ready to KYC themselves. So we do not want to get any developers on board without access, to get on board and have access to the backend servers and the smart contracts without KYCing themselves. If you can take what Quidditch Finance, if I'm not mistaken, did a few days back, he got rugged by a developer who was not KYC'd, and the spokesperson was left as the scapegoat essentially. So we do not want that to happen. Currently, I am the only developer for this project, and I'm the only one with access to the smart contracts, the game backend, the game servers, and I fully KYC for myself. Yeah, and also all our funds are multi-sig secured. However, I'm the only signer at the current time. Planning to expand more in the terms of the core development team, but we are waiting to grow more and to have more people who are passionate about this project, more people who know about game development, smart contracts, and are willing to KYC themselves.
Yeah. So, to get it right, the pre-sale is on the 21, like what, 21 this month, right?
21 me, yeah.
Yeah. I had a question about that. I mean, there's of course many questions to be asked about the team and everything else. But knowing the market conditions right now and everything's going on with the market, why are you guys like planning to launch now on a bear market when I mean it's not even the highest high projects can even make a good launch because like there's no money in the DeFi space right now, and also counting the UST thing that happened in Terra, there's no credibility. So I was wondering like, and I asked this also to Orbit admins. I asked them, why are you guys launching now with a bear market? I mean, it's there will be more money flowing into the project if you guys just wait a couple of months to be going to go back to 40K or so. It can take a year, but or a few months. But I just want to know why, if the hype isn't there and there's no a lot of money into ecosystem, you guys are launching anyway.
Okay, so as you said yourself, we have been in a bear market for quite some time. Bitcoin has been going down in value for several months now in overall, and that's affecting most of the cryptocurrencies. That's true, definitely true. But one of the beauties of our project compared to other rebase project is that we are minimally affected by external factors. If Bitcoin crashes, it does not affect us much because we are a series of short-term investments. So within this 15 days period, I won't be affected much by external market factors. So compared to other rebase projects which are more long term, they have to definitely take into account the market factors and what bearish market are they in, and what is the market sentiment and so on. But in our short term investments, our series of short term investments, do not have to prioritize that. While it does definitely affect in terms of how much our investors can invest in our project, since a lot of people must have gotten liquidated by the current UST situation and few other factors in Bitcoin crashing and so on. We believe that that shouldn't stop us from innovating and creating a disruption in the DeFi space, because our project always gives you a return in short-term investments regardless of the market sentiment. We are not affected by the market sentiment much.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Alpha, Q. That answered my question. I don't know if someone like I don't know if Caraway knows. I don't know if we're gonna read the public questions or because there's just like there's like two questions there. I don't know if they're gonna get on stage to ask them Caraway or we're gonna ask them or like how
Oh,
it's gonna
I
work.
typically at the end we start reading through the audience questions. Let me take a look and see. Yep,
Is it okay if I explain on a certain aspect on the dynamic text first before we go to the public questions?
sure. Go ahead and talk about that dynamic tax.
Yeah, sure. So if you guys head over to our website on Looper Finance, you can scroll down and you see there'll be a section for a text system, which is our dynamic text. Dynamic text sustains the protocol and minimizes price manipulation by whales. Similar to Spear Finance, you have a 13% buy tax and a 20% sell tax. and the dynamic tax scales with the portion of LP you own. So this does not affect the average investor. This only affects price manipulation by whales, where it will be taxed based on how much they own in proportion to the LP. So in addition to this, we have implemented a unique burning mechanism, which is our dynamic burn mechanism. Most projects, they claim to implement or invent a fixed burn fee for each transaction. We take this a step further by creating the first ever dynamic burn. This does not uh, create more tax for the investors, but instead, the dynamic burn burns 20% of the existing dynamic tax to push the price up. So what this means is that from a portion, 20% of the dynamic tax that's already existing will be burned to push the price up, and this does not tax the ordinary investor much and increases the profits for everyone. So that's one of the most unique aspects of our project as well, which is the dynamic tax and the dynamic burn. So yeah, that's the main parts that I wanted to explain. You can go ahead, Karawi. Or if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
I think that question came from GeltDev. I don't know if GeltDev wanted to follow up or if that was totally clear to him. Um, Jay Pegaso says, "What are the series of short-term investments?" You're talking about the gameplay loop. I mean, my questions mostly come down to help me imagine what the actual gameplay is like because I loaded the game, but I couldn't log in because I suppose it's not
If you
running.
it's running, you if you're first time user, you have to click on register instead of login. Good.
I have to click on register to log in.
Yeah,
Or
if you're
I
first time user.
okay. I thought that just by I thought that just by connecting my wallet, that was like would be like the same thing
Oh
as
no,
registering.
no. We're just getting your wallet address from there. We have to create a what separate
S-
game account for you so that other people with access to your public address will not able to log into the game.
Okay. So I could actually play the game as it is right now, even though the season hasn't started.
Yeah, you can definitely test out the game. You just wouldn't be earning any real world profits at the moment. You can definitely try out the game. How the game works is that you have a rocket and you have to launch the rocket. Your target is to reach the moon, which is at the top. And if you reach the moon, you'll get 20% daily return. Alternatively, you can launch the rocket and eject before the rocket explodes. So the rocket explodes at a random time, and it depends on your luck. It's not definitely gonna explode, but it may explode at a random time, and you have to survive or reach the moon before that. So if you survive, the points will be added to your daily return. If you explode and do not reach the moon, the points will be deducted to your daily return to a maximum of 0%. So that 0% is the lowest you can go. We will not give you negative daily returns. We will not deduct your balance or burn your balance or anything to do with your initial balance. That makes sense?
I think so. Let's see if there's another question in the Discord. And
In sorry, in yeah, sorry about that. In regards to Galtef question about the dynamic tax and dynamic burn, what are the conditions that change the taxes and burn? There are no conditions that changes the current taxes and burn. The maximum sell tax that we can apply is 25%. That is hard coded into the smart contract itself. While the current sell tax is at 20%, if the community deems for whatever reason that we have to increase the the sell tax 25%, we will do so only if the community agrees on it. We cannot set the sell tax to 100% and create a rug pull situation because it's already hard coded into the smart contract. And as to what conditions can change the dynamic tax and dynamic burn is nothing. So once it's set in the smart contract is launched and your token is live, it will be fixed and we will not be able to manipulate it in any way. So that's all. You can carry on, Karabi. Sorry for interrupting.
no, it's totally cool. I think that um, I'm actually playing the game right now. I haven't gotten above 8%. Um, do you remember Alpha? I don't know how old you are. I could take a guess. Um, do you remember newgrounds.com?
Yeah, I've
Do,
yeah, I do remember them.
do you
Time back.
remember
Yeah.
how the leaderboards were always completely, totally hacked?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, I'm out of rockets.
Upon your first time registration, you'll get 20 rockets, and after that, subsequent days you'll be given 10 rockets daily. So you have 10 tries daily. After that, the reason why you have a certain number of rockets and a certain number of tries you can get is to prevent botting. Let's say you're a bot, you can infinitely spam immediately to double click every time you'll get, let's say 0.6, 0.8 every time. To prevent botting and spamming, we've created a live system essentially to limit the number of tries every day.
I see. I'm gonna log back in and see if I can't get Oh, I see. So I'm just out of rockets unless I make another wallet or something. Um,
Yeah, either you have to uh, log into another wallet or you can wait for 24 hours. So the rockets reset every 24 hours at UTC time. You have to play our game every day because the daily return and rockets reset every day.
so
So
going
let's
back
say
to
on the first,
the Newgrounds
yeah,
example,
yeah,
um,
sorry, I completely derived from
it's
that. Sorry,
okay.
sorry.
So many of those leaderboards, I mean, maybe 100% of them were like completely hacked. I mean, nobody who wasn't cheating or hacking or whatever could ever get on the leaderboard. And I mean, they were a major site. And I guess my question is, what is the security between this Unity game and and the
Daily
the
return
daily
score.
return exactly right? I mean, what's to stop somebody from hacking this Unity game and manipulating the? I guess I guess you would just see them, right? You would blacklist them. Is that the idea?
Uh, okay, so let me explain how we prevent hacking in the first place. So all of our safe data is not client side. So let's say your total balance, your earn balance, which is your e-balance, sorry, your total balance, your e-balance, and your daily return. This is all server-sided logic. And every time that you say you explode a rocket or reach a certain daily return, you earn daily returns or you get successful daily returns. Every time it's cross-checked in the server before updating. So the way it's structured is that the server data cannot be manipulated from the client side. Cross-checking before updating the daily returns. And as for the total balance and the e-balance that you see in your account, this is also server-sided. So even if you try to hack it, you'll only be changing server-sided. You'll only be changing it on your client side, and it will not affect it on the server side. If you refresh your game and log back in, it'll be updated to the server-sided amount. So in a way, it's structured to prevent hacking from client side. And as to encryption, we are using PlayFab gaming services, and all their data is encrypted by PlayFab. And so far, there hasn't been much of news for the hacking of the encryption for PlayFab. So we are relatively confident that we will not be hacked in terms of the data transfer encryption.
Of course, there's no incentive to hack it yet.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
but that's a good answer, I suppose. So basically, you don't think it's going to be possible because all of the important data is server side, and it'll be cross-checked before anything client side is affects the
Yeah,
server
yeah,
side data.
exactly. Yeah, that's how it's structured and how it's built from the ground up. And hopefully, we don't face any hacks in the future.
Okay, so the optimum way to play this is to go ahead and launch your 10 rockets every day. Will it be the best of 10? Like, could you have one that hits 7% and then keep launching rockets or do you just have to stay with one of your scores?
Okay, so you have 10 rockets daily, and each try will accumulate on your daily return. But if you explode, it'll deduct from the daily return. So let's say you
Oh,
eject before, yeah. So let's say you get 2% in your first turn, and your second turn you get a positive 2%. Then it'll be added to your daily return to get a total of 4%. However, if on your first turn you get 2%, and on your second turn you got negative 2%, it will be deducted to your daily return. So you'll get zero daily return.
can
So
you
it's
ever go
all
below?
accumulating.
I guess you can't go below zero, right?
Yeah, it's the minimum the lowest you can go is 0%.
And the
You do not
highest
take
is
any
20,
negative
right?
return. Yeah, the maximum is 20.
Okay, interesting. And this is all a function of how much money you put in, right? Your initial like seed. Is that correct?
No, no, it doesn't matter how much you buy the tokens. It's completely randomized for everyone. It's fair and square for everyone, depending on your luck. Yeah. Randomize we have several randomization functions to make sure that you can't hack it or there's no pattern to it. So yeah, it's definitely fair for everyone and everybody is randomized, no matter how much tokens you have.
But the number of tag tokens that you have will determine, like your return is a percentage of how many tokens you're holding, correct?
Yeah, correct. The daily return will multiply with your total balance.
Let me take a look at this loop again. So there will be a buy loop tokens. I guess what I'm asking is, uh, during the play and earn portion, those 10 days, does that mean nobody can buy tokens?
No, you can buy tokens and trade tokens freely throughout all the loop phases at any time. Never locked out, you never uh, forced to buy or forced to sell at any time.
But
It's definitely up to the investors.
wouldn't it be bad to buy the loop tokens right before the cash out phase?
Um, it's not recommended, but if you want to, you could.
I see. And so the best time to buy these tokens is on day one of the A phase.
It depends on how you see it. If you believe you can still earn a decent amount of profit based on the price, you can buy it anytime during the pay phase or the claim phase or the cash out phase. So let's say you want to buy after a certain period of phase A, which is the play phase, you can do it. So let's say you decide the price might be lower than your starting price. You can buy it later on and play to get more rewards. So it's depending completely on the investors. You can buy it at any time.
Okay, tell us more about this huge buyback. This happens during the C phase, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So on the 10th day, we'll be having our massive buyback and burn. We'll be using 80% of the treasury balance for a massive buyback, and all the bought back tokens will be burnt, and all the unclaimed loop tokens which was not sent out as rebase rewards will be burnt as well. So initially, we will be minting a set number of tokens. If those tokens are not claimed, are not sent as rebase rewards, they will be burned completely. So we will not be having any of the loop tokens. That's what happens during the massive buyback and burn. And this is all. They will all happen in the uh, swap liquidity pool. We will not be moving the LP anywhere. We will not be moving to a private X. I will not be stopping people from trading at any time. It will all happen live to the quick swap liquidity pool. Oh yeah, regarding our massive buyback and burn, there were some concerns about botting, and what I would like to say about that is that when we conduct this 80% buyback, it's a one-time transaction. There'll be a massive amount with a high amount of gas fees to disencourage botting. Aside from that, we'll be whitelisted from the taxes, so we will not be charged on the taxes. And while the bots, if they try to sell and buy back in a quick succession of transactions, they will be penalized through the dynamic tax. So they will, even if they try to bot, they will lose up to 70% of the value. And our since we are not when buying when conducting the buyback, we will definitely have a positive impact on the price even if we got botted. That's for how we are mitigating the impacts of botting on our side at least.
I see. I mean, I think my main concern was that since you'll be deciding, not that I don't trust you, but since you'll be deciding when the buyback is, uh,
Mhm.
that there's an issue that it might be the case that this information is extremely valuable. For instance, if you said, okay, I'm going to do the buyback at midnight, then if somebody had this information, they could make a large purchase at 11:55 and then sell it at 12:01. You know what I mean? It's like it would be a guaranteed win for anybody that had this information. Isn't that correct?
That's true. This is uh this is the main background of buybacks faced by most, if not all, projects when they have buybacks, which is insider information. And we can't do much about that. We can't promise that we won't do that because there'll be we don't have any guarantees in place for that, and most previous projects can't do that either. So it's not in our control to give you a guarantee on that. We won't use insider information to have what, as you said, an arbitrage, early arbitrage before the token buyback occurs. And even if it does occur, we'll be using our own accounts, so the public can view our wallets. We'll be doxing our wallets, so
Hey,
it should be
excuse me.
fine.
Could I share my screen? I think I found an issue with the application.
Um, I
Go
don't
ahead.
have any problem with you sharing your screen. I'm just not sure like how
Uh,
you can do that.
No, no, on stage you can't share screen on stage. Also, yeah, that. So, no, Deb, you can like stages won't let you share screen. I don't know. You can probably record it, send it in the chat, probably. I don't know.
Or you can perhaps screenshot it and send it in our AMA channel. It
Yeah.
works.
yeah, let me
So
show you a message in there.
yeah, perfect, man. So before you accidentally left, I was gonna thank you because honestly, that's really transparent. Where you're saying you can't assure us like you can assure anyone on the team will do X, Y, or Z about buying the tokens. If they know about the buybacks, and that's like there's nothing you can do about it, and I think that's something investors and project owners like they need to be transparent about it. I have interviewed several projects who try to hide stuff, and you can hear them hiding stuff that they can't hide, and this just shows the transparency on the team. I just wanted to highlight that and just say thank you for transparency, man. It's really appreciated in the space.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
It looks like Geltdev has managed to get 13 rockets. No, he's got the daily return of 100%. That's what he's got going on.
Oh, that's an interesting. I've never faced that
Yeah,
in testing
I was able
before.
to modify the request and make my return percent whatever I wanted.
Hmm. Wait, let me check back on the server side about this. Have you?
I'm sorry that my bot deleted whatever that you just posted, Geltdev. What did you post the second time?
Oh, I can send it to you. I was just showing you can you're able to like kind of like uh take the make the request and change your percent.
Did you try to refresh the browser and see if it sticks?
Yeah, actually it doesn't do it on the browser, but once I actually like refresh the browser, that's when I can see it, like once I load back into the app.
This is sort of what
I'm
I was
not sure.
talking about with these Newgrounds games, right? Every single one of them was hacked. Um,
Mhm.
and so when I see a game that's made in Unity or it's a browser game, I often wonder how the security is going to go. Um, let's see.
That's an interesting picture. I've never used that unless I'm trying to hack it from the client side. I need to log in into my developer account, but it's facing some issues currently. Hmm, hold up.
No, I was just curious. It might be client side, but it seems to be there on refresh. But I'm sure it's just like a small thing. I just wanted to show like
Okay,
any.
I'd appreciate some quick feedback. Can you try logging out and logging back in? Is it stay? Is it still there? You should try to log out. And by log out, I mean go to
Oh
the
yeah,
home page and on the top right corner.
yeah, definitely. Hopefully, I remember my password.
Yeah.
To check it out for play to earn, but it's not mobile friendly. Bad face.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like when I logged back in, I gave myself 1,000% return, so it looks like I still have 1,000%.
Oh, so even after logging back in, is this?
Yeah.
Can
Oh,
you
that's interesting.
can you show me
I'll
how to
have
get
to
a
take.
1,000% as well?
Yeah, so what you do is like the network requests are at the bottom, and I wonder I can send you my request. You can play with mine, but yeah, you just have to capture the request and change your request.
Hmm,
See if the bot's gonna catch me. Oh no, it
yeah.
warned me.
Thanks for that feedback. I really appreciate it, and I'll look into it definitely. We haven't faced this before, and we'll look into it. Yeah, definitely get it fixed before private pre-sale. That's for sure.
Let's see. Somebody said what chain is this on?
It's on Polygon network. We chose Polygon because it has significantly lower transaction fees and it has high total value locked. So we're trying to capture a portion of the audience as well. So that's why we're on Polygon network.
Yeah, let me just apologize. This is like super late at night for me, so I'm pretty low energy. Thank you again, Omar, for being here, helping out so much, and Geldev as well. Thank you for being here. And of course, last but not least, Lola. Lola, I see you're unmuted. Did you want to chime in?
Yeah, actually, I was just curious. So what is your background prior to this? Is this like the first project you've launched?
Yeah, I have a few years of experience in mainly game development, and I've decided to launch a first DeFi project now.
That's awesome. I'm just curious, will you ever work on it to where it could be mobile friendly too? Because a lot
Uh,
of people
uh, the
use.
main problem in yeah yes thank you. The main problem with mobile is the technical difficulty in terms of the engine use, which is Unity engine. So they're not currently not optimized for mobile web browsers, but they're definitely working on workarounds. And if the workarounds don't work, we are going to release a standalone app for Android and iOS, and that will come post Loop One launch. So our current focus is the desktop version. Then after you launch, we'll definitely work on getting it to be more optimized for mobile browsers.
Man, these cell phones have really ruined things, haven't they? I spent some time today. I made a shill for DreamFi, the kind of thing that you post in shill channels or you DM to people, I guess. And I made it look so good. And then I tested it, and it turns out that the mobile version of Discord doesn't even do like ASCII scripts. It doesn't even do half the features that the desktop thing does. So I had to redo the entire shell. I had to take out all of the beautiful things that I had worked on and just go to like sort of back to basics to make sure that it would work equally on desktop and mobile. And I also had this problem last night. I was working on the Git book for DreamFi, and I couldn't get the logo to center on the mobile version, even though it looked great on the desktop. So I feel your trouble there. It's like you can't just make one website, you got to make two websites. And you can't just make one game, you got to make two games. right?
That's an interesting proposition.
Right, yeah, I've run into that problem too. Like while I was editing my Discord, I learned that through mobile there's limited features, but if versus desktop you have more features that you can access.
Yeah, and there's even some features that you can't access from desktop that you can from mobile. Like for instance, it's very hard to see the total number of active online users on the desktop. In fact, there's no way to do it um, unless they have a bot that gives you that information. But on mobile, it's right there.
Hmm, that's like really that's weird. That shouldn't be like that.
Mm. Alpha, when's the pre-sale date?
Our pre-sale, sorry, our private pre-sale will be on 21st May, with public pre-sale on 24th May. Both of these pre-sales will be on pink sale. We are planning to have our public launch on 28th May, which will be done in our own the app on Local Finance.
I see. Do you mind if I ask you some personal questions like where are you from?
I'm afraid I can't answer that.
Okay. What's your social
I,
security number?
I can let you know that I'm from Asia at least.
I see. And if you look out your window, what kind of clouds are you looking at right now? Are they stratocumulus or something else?
It's bright without clouds.
Okay.
So I was reading and it says that the you guys just stay anonymous, like the team's anonymous. To
No, the main developer, which is me, and I am currently KYC. We are not docs. We are only going for KYC. We are not planning on having a public docs anytime soon. As for the rest of the team, and what I refer to the team is as in the Discord managers and community managers who do not have access to the project in terms of multi-sig and the game backend. They are not doxed, and they are only in charge of managing the community.
Tell,
Perfect. Perfect.
tell us a little bit more about yourself. Um, what is the biggest challenge that you faced in your life ever?
Mm, Perhaps getting a profit on DeFi, I say.
Good answer. What's the biggest challenge that you faced in Looper Finance?
Probably getting the app up and functional. That was probably the hardest challenge. Because I'm not that familiar with Web3.js, so I had to familiar myself and learn how to build a looking the app, and I didn't want to be a straight out copy of Eternal or Spear or any other Rebase projects. I wanted to have our own style and signature to it, so that's why we ended up with.
Yeah, well, you've definitely got a unique project with unique features and a unique vision, and I place a lot of weight on that. I mean, after seeing, I mean, it's like Titano season came and just destroyed DeFi. So any project that is unique gets extra points in my book. So congratulations on that, and congratulations for making it this far, and for having so much up and running. And are you getting nervous getting so close to launch?
Yeah, definitely after what the game exploit that he posted, I'm definitely getting nervous now.
Yeah, I realized I was like, I should have waited until it launched. I was like, dude, I just killed I could have got 10,000 times bonus. I'm joking
Yeah,
though. Yeah, I know I'm a developer too. We always find this stuff.
thanks a lot for finding out the exploit, and we'll look into it. Yeah, definitely try to find a fix. It's probably more related to PlayFab's server-side issues, but yeah, I'll look into it.
This has been our best AMA ever.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's been my pleasure as well, Alpha Q. I hope you launch a successful project, and I wish all the best for you and your team, man. Best wishes from
Yeah,
my part.
Thank you very much.
how can we distribute whitelists? Naturally, everybody who participated in the audience today will get a whitelist. Isn't that correct, Alpha Q?
Yep, that's true.
Can
We'll
I?
we'll leave the whitelist distribution up to you guys,
Okay,
and you guys
so
have total freedom.
should people just come to your Discord and open a ticket? Is that the best way to do it?
No, once you have picked the winners, can you just send me their Discord text and yeah, inform them to just join our Discord and send me their Discord text. So we'll whitelist them in our Discord and collect their addresses later.
Got it. So you just want me to DM you the names? Is that what you would like?
And, and then we'll manually whitelist them. Yeah. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have them DM you.
Yeah, sure.
Because
That looks good.
yeah, because because if we're giving out 15 and then I only have 14 names, then I won't know whether to send them or I could just send you 15 DMs. That would work too. But yeah, we'll work it out. But the key factor is you want the Discord names, you want them to join the Discord, and then you are going to collect the wallet information soon, correct?
Yeah, that's true. I think we'll start collecting tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. If all goes well.
Okay, well, does anybody have any final questions? And if anybody in the audience wants to raise their hands or write a question in the AMA chat, I think now is the time. We're going to start wrapping up. Alpha, you'll be happy to know that we've got a beautiful YouTube video for you. We've got volcanoes, and then that transitions into sharks and fish. This is one of our best AMAs. It's the best discussion. We've got the best video. Um, I think we've got a question coming in. Um, Thank you again, Omar and Lola, for being here. Did you guys have any final questions?
Yeah, it was fun, and I feel like all the questions were answered. This was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really like this, and I can't wait to see the future of this project. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
yes, same here. Thank you so much for being here, Alpha Q and everybody. Um, did you want to give us some final words about your project or something that you forgot to mention or any sort of closing thoughts for us, Alpha?
Yeah, thank you so much, Carrie, for hosting us on here, along with Omar and Lola. Thanks for being great hosts and asking some very, very interesting and different questions. And I'm sure it's been very eye-opening to the community as well. And thank you to the community of Fear vs. Greed that tuned in and asked some great questions tonight and learned more about our project. Thanks for your interest, and we hope to see you guys over on Lupo Finance too as well. Yeah, thank you for the
Absolutely.
great aim.
I think the thing that I like the most about the LooperFi model is that because you have this 15-day cycle, you'll be able to have different iterations and evolve and possibly grow the community over time. Um, in 2 months, you'll be on cycle 6 or season 6 or whatever you want to call it. I hope that you'll consider doing another AMA or perhaps a cross collaboration with DreamFi. Have you checked out DreamFi yet?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting project from you, Kerry. And I'll definitely be open to AMAs with Dreamfly and Fear vs. Greed anytime down the road. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again for being here. I'm going to get you the YouTube link here post haste. And this is it. Final questions for anybody who. Oh, Briggs has chimed in. He said, "Great job. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, Briggs." All right, I think that's it. Great AMA, guys. Thank you all for being here. And Alpha, I'll go ahead and DM you right after the show.
Sure, thanks.
All right, thanks for coming out here, guys, tonight. Good night.
Right, bye, guys. Good night.